Everyone wants to talk about deals, cash flow, cap rates, interest rates, but almost nobody wants to talk about money correctly. And if you don't understand money correctly, you will never push through rejection, never scale, never invest aggressively, and never build real wealth. Because the real barrier isn't objections, it's a broken target. Most people think $1 million is wealth. It's not. Let's do the math. Take $1 million, zero income, you're 30 years old. You want to live modestly. Let's say $6,000 per month all-in lifestyle. Housing, food, insurance, healthcare, travel, kids, life. That's $72,000 per year. Without growth, without inflation, without emergencies, that million lasts about 13 years. You're 43 years old and broke. That's assuming no lawsuits, no medical issues, no divorce, no failed business, no market downturn. Now factor inflation at 3 to 4%. The math collapses even faster. A single-digit millionaire today is financially fragile, not rich. Fragile. That's uncomfortable, but it's reality. CNBC says $5 million is wealthy. The math says closer to $10 million if you want real financial freedom without stress. And not $10 million in equity on paper. $10 million in productive assets. Because here's the truth. Wealth is not a number. Wealth is freedom from worry. Now let's break this into a structure that actually works. Step 1. You need the right target. If your target is a watch, a car, a vacation, or 6 figures, you're playing a small game. If your target is freedom, meaning no anxiety about bills, emergencies, or legal defense, then the number changes. And when the target changes, behavior changes. Step 2. Income must be engineered to store capital. Forget saving. Saving is weak psychology. Store capital. If you make $20,000 per month, and after taxes you net $12,000, you should be storing at least 40% of gross income once you're serious about scaling. That means you need your income high enough so that 40% storage doesn't feel impossible. If you can't store 40%, you don't have an expense problem first. You have an income problem. Most people try to budget their way to wealth. That's backwards. Increase income first, then compress lifestyle, then store aggressively. Let's say you get to $30,000 per month gross. You store $12,000. Taxes eat $10,000. You live on $8,000. Now you're building velocity. $12,000 per month stored is $144,000 per year. In 5 years, that's over $700,000 before compounding. But storage alone does not create wealth. Step 3. Stored capital must be deployed into cash-flowing assets. Cash sitting in the bank is not king. Cash decays. Inflation eats it. Idle money disappears over time. Stored money must go into assets that preserve principal, generate recurring income, have long-term durability. This is why I prefer hard assets with real utility, apartment buildings, traveling nurse rentals, or workforce housing. Assets that people must pay for monthly. Banks will lend you money to buy cash-flowing real estate. They won't lend you money to buy speculative tokens. That tells you what institutional capital believes in. Cash flow is the golden goose. And here's the real pivot. Your passive income target should eventually exceed your earned income. When your investments produce more monthly income than your job, you have leverage over your life. But most people never get there because they increase lifestyle every time income increases. They get a raise. They upgrade the car. They upgrade the house. They upgrade the watch. They upgrade the stress. Instead, compress lifestyle and build assets. Now let's talk about debt. Bad debt that doesn't produce income? Renegotiate it. Delay it. Don't chase it emotionally. Credit score doesn't matter if you're not buying liabilities. What matters is capital control. Now here's the most important shift. When you're talking to people, clients, investors, partners, you're not just earning commission. You're building your capital engine. Every sale funds your freedom. Every deal funds your equity base. Every investor funds your future portfolio. You're not working for a paycheck. You're working to hit your capital target. That mindset changes performance. Because when your target is $10 million in productive assets, a $5,000 commission isn't nice, it's fuel. And when you store and deploy correctly, something happens. The game shifts. You stop thinking about bills. You start thinking about allocation. You stop thinking about survival. You start thinking about scale. And here's the uncomfortable part. Most people don't fail because they can't. They fail because they aim too low. If your target is $100,000 per year, that's what you'll defend. If your target is $10 million in productive assets, you behave differently. You look at time differently. You look at distractions differently. You look at consumption differently. The goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to become financially untouchable. Because bad things happen, lawsuits happen, medical issues happen, market downturns happen, layoffs happen, family emergencies happen. If you don't build margin before those events, they control you. If you build margin first, they don't break you. This isn't motivational, it's mathematical. And once passive income exceeds earned income, motivation changes. You don't become lazy, you become dangerous, because now you're operating from strength. So here's the sequence. Increase income aggressively. Store 40% of gross once income allows. Keep lifestyle compressed. Deploy stored capital into durable, cash-flowing assets. Repeat until passive income exceeds earned income. Continue reinvesting to reach $10 million in productive capital. That's the game, not hype, not lifestyle flexing, not status, freedom. And freedom isn't purchased with $1 million. It's engineered with disciplined capital allocation over time. That's the real target.